office. I'm a nutrition and health specialist here. And what we're doing today is we are going to take these beautiful onions we grew out in the garden and we're going to make actually onion powder using our dehydrator. A little bit about dehydration food is the purpose is to remove the moisture from the onions to not allow bacteria growth. So today we'll make and load our dehydrator, and Julie will do that for us. And then the next video will actually show you how to make the onion powder.
Hi, I'm Julie, and I'm a nutrition program educator here in Newton County. And I wanted to talk really quick about food safety. Before we got started, we washed our hands. We're also wearing gloves. We washed the table, made sure our cutting board was clean, and a clean knife. So you also want to make sure that you always wash your fruit and vegetables before you eat it or cut it up.
Should I use any bleach when I...
No.
What kind of water?
You just want to use plain water.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
And if it's a hard vegetable, you can use a brush to get some of the dirt off. So I'm going to start by cutting the onion, and we'll get it loaded, and we'll make our onion powder.
So Julie's going to cut the tops and the bottoms of my onions, and then she's going to cut the onions about 1/8 of an inch. And the important thing about doing dehydration is to try to make sure that our food is not touching. So when it's touching, that airflow cannot get up and around it. So we're going to set these little rings in here. You don't have to chop up your onions where they're pieces, but rather you can let the food processor do all the work for you, getting the consistency that you want. Since we only have a little bit of onions, I can really spread these out. If you are going to load up your food dehydrator, you can actually get them fairly close, like so, where they're barely not touching one another. And once we get our trays loaded, we will go ahead and place them into the dehydrator. And I looked up the manufacturer recommendations for dehydrating onions. And the manufacturer said to set it at the temperature 155 and to dehydrate for 4 to 8 hours. So we will set it for 4 hours, and then we will come back and check if the onions are a leathery consistency. And then if it's not ready, we can set it for another hour, check it again in another hour. If your dehydrator is different than this one, check the manual that came with your dehydrator and check the temperature. If you set it at a lower one, it will take more time. So the top of this actually has a list of temperatures, and it says for vegetables 125. If I chose that one rather than looking at the manual, it would still dehydrate, but it might have to be for 8 to 12 hours versus doing 4 to 8 hours. So Julie is laying these out. Again, she's making sure that our onions are not touching. And we are going to go ahead and load our dehydrator up. And we will come back once all of these are nice and dry, show you what kind of consistency we are looking for, and then put them in our food processor and make them into onion powder that we can then use to season our food with.
So what I love about this is that if you overplant onions, like I did, you can make sure you get good use of them by doing something other than just chopping them up or eating them.
Right, and the other thing is you can dehydrate them and choose to have them into chunks versus powder, and you can rehydrate them and add them into soups or casseroles, or even throw them into like your pressure cooker, your instant pressure cookers, and they would hydrate back up and create an onion. So we look forward to seeing you once this is all dried, and we will come back and show you how to make this into onion powder. Thank you. Have a great day.